This is the S&P 500 Spider ETF SPY one-day reading for April 11th, 2024. It's currently February 16th, 2024, 2:23 p.m. Eastern Time. SPY at the time of this reading is $502.54. That's USD. And the shuffle video that we're about to play for the for the April 11th reading was created on February 2nd, 2024 at 4:28 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video here in the lower left corner. The overall theme and behavior for SPY on the 11th, there's an unexpected move to the upside that'll stand out on a multi-day scale. Behavior around the highest high, we have an important cash out opportunity here around the highest high for the day. Probably a lot of price level or price change involved around the high, and maybe even a little bit of sideways rotation there near the high. Behavior around the low, we have an important price level on a multi-day scale near the low, and probably acted as resistance where we kind of like flattened out at least temporarily there. Advice to trade around a pop and drop. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. We do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. You go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, and 5% of the profits from every profitable trade utilizing this information should be donated forward to one of these charities, or pick a charity of your choosing as long as you're paying 5% forward, and then 5% should be sent back to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use Wise or you can use YouTube tips. And that leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you follow the rule of karma for the channel, the universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get back into it. Remember that each card in this row going across the screen in the center, each card represents about an hour of time. Most of the cards there represent about an hour of time. They're called timeline cards. And what they're doing is they're giving you the sequence of chart events throughout the day. What's important to understand is occasionally there's going to be a reading where the card's energy will not line up perfectly with 1 hour of time. So in some cases, you'll need to give the reading plus or minus an hour here or there wiggle room. And in cases like that, just make sure to follow the sequence of events as outlined by the prediction, because that will keep you on track. In the pre-market, there's a notable move to the upside, like really beneficial to anybody that opened up a long position at the end of the day near a low there. Notable move to the upside, sideways fluctuating rally at the open that precedes a decline, and it looks like there's a pop and a drop here in the first half hour, or maybe a pop into the first half hour where we have a high. So we have a high in the pre-market, sideways fluctuating rally. Oh, and we open higher as well, sideways fluctuating rally that in the first half hour out of the open into a high somewhere between probably 10 and 11 o'clock, where we have a full retracement back down from that move higher, full retracement back down. And it might be a prominent move higher and then a full retracement back down in that first half hour. And then we have a period of volatility there between 10 and 11. And the volatility ends with the fast move higher taking us back to a high for the day. So probably 3 highs there before 11 o'clock. It's an overbought crest that we sell off from, a near overbought crest that we sell off from after like a fast move higher turning into a near overbought crest, and we sell off through multiple support levels into a trough around 12:30. There's another high there midday, and it's a peak that we sell off from pretty sharply on a one-day chart into a trough there around 12:30. And then there's a cross-rate incongruency and an important price level on a 1-month chart scale minimum. Actually, it's an important price level on a 1-year chart scale minimum. And I say that because we've got the science card here as well, and the science card on the 1 month indicates an important technical price level on a 1-year scale. So this is an important price level on a 1-year scale that we have like this unexpected move higher into it, back to highs. And this is probably the high for the day right here between 2 and 3. At that important price level, we probably do some sideways rotation. That's where I would close out of a long position. Well, so if I opened one here at a trough midday, I would close it there for a day trade in a period of sideways rotation. Here in the midst of that pop and drop in the first hour and a half there, that's where I would want to close the long position opened at the end of the day on the 10th. And then in the last hour, we have a rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. Right around the close, there's a notable move to the upside and a reversal either in the pre-market or the following day. It looks like at some point in the following day, there's a move to the upside that'll really stand out on a multi-day scale, probably out of a low or trough. And we'll talk about that in more detail when we get into the reading for April 12th. Guys, that's the reading for the 11th. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so. It really helps out the channel. If you have subscribed, please share this with somebody you think it'll help. Most importantly, though, make sure to be one of those 3% that follow the rule of karma and help support the channel and keep the channel going and do the right thing, really. This is a ton of work, a ton of hard work to get this stuff done. So my goal is to have as many people following the rule of karma as possible. And with your help, we can do that. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one.